Alrighty, hello everyone. And today is day 1.248, I'm told, and it is January 15th, 2018, and it's Martin Luther King Day here in the United States. So a lot of people are off and closed, which is kind of nice to remember and whatnot. And yeah, Karrin has given me the chance to come and talk because my name is Karrin too. Isn't that a coincidence? In Robin's D&D game, my name is Karrin, and her name is Karrin. That's kind of neat. Um, and Karrin, the other Karrin, yesterday spent a lot of time working on different voices for her non-player characters. I think they're called. And I get to be one of them. Isn't that cool? Oh, but I wanted to talk a little bit. I don't get a lot of chance, when Karrin, who was Robin before, first started, she had me somewhat in her voice, but it was a little more high pitched and it was a little bit off. And Robin didn't really practice much. I mean, she practiced a lot then, but over time she realized that a voice that was somewhat fake sounding was not necessarily the way to go. However, I like my voice a lot. And, there are moments when I imagine as part of this process, we wish that, now some bad thoughts are coming in. Bad thoughts. I'm the good thought person. Let's see if I can do this without crying. There are times when you wish you could just, I don't know, hit your head, on a rock or something, and you could just change your personality, and allow yourself to be, I won't exactly say someone else, but, if you think about it, and this might also be some other unhappy thoughts. But Robert was a very unhappy boy. And Robert had to put up with a lot of garbage. And he didn't. A picture of him somewhere. I hope I didn't throw it away. Well, darn it. Here it is. Would you like to see a picture of Robert? Can you guess which one he is? Yeah. Of course, Robert didn't go by that name then. Robert was Rob. So I guess I should say, look at Rob, not really Robert. That was high school, and Rob was. Let me use Rob. Rob's a better name. I think about our grandmother who used to say, "Robert." You knew you did something wrong when a grandparent used your name and for your full name. Especially if your name is not the name that your parents give you. You know how that goes. So Robert didn't really like that name and went by Rob for a long time. And Rob was actually a pretty funny guy. He tried his best. When that photo was taken was high school. And that was probably the last time that Rob was happy to a degree. He had compartmentalized his life, and he didn't know how to deal with me. He didn't know how to deal with his feelings. And lots of crying, lots of pain. But Rob Rob knew he wasn't what he was. Rob was something else, and he wore a lot of masks. He wore a lot of masks. Um, I know that I've been accused of being somewhat of a fake. Let me turn this off so we don't get interrupted. Ooh, hang on, technology. Okay. Rob didn't know how to deal with things, and it wasn't until Rob went away to college that he was able to begin to tear apart and explore his feelings, and he wondered if he was gay for a while. He didn't have a sexual attraction to anybody per se, and he lost his virginity. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. He lost his virginity in college. And he was so excited, he called his dad and was like, I'm a man now, if there was any worry, I'm a man. It's a total lie, of course. But Rob kind of developed two personalities, and one of them was Tom Servo when he lived in Atlanta. Not many people know that. I guess everybody does now. Because he loved Mystery Science Theater and the Rocky Horror Cast, they had several Mystery Science Theater undertones to it, so he went by Tom Servo for a while. And I can tell you from my memory, being called Tom was a hell of a lot better than being called Rob or Robert. Robert? Oh, shivers down my spine. Anyway, so I don't know why I'm telling you this. We must be good friends. So Rob, or Tom rather, began to feel a precipitation side of a personality that was more feminine, and her name was Sarah, and Sarah was a very interesting young lady. Sarah went to a prom like it was a Rocky Horror at a different cast, because by that time Rob had done a lot of stuff with Rocky Horror. Actually, Rob played all the women. Actually, there's some men he didn't play, but he got to play all the women. And Rob had a fixation on magenta, I will say. And looking at myself now, I do see a lot of Patricia Quinn from that in me. But anyway, so Tom was a good way of dealing with pain, and then Sarah really was, I think, the nucleation site for where I am today. And Sarah it was the first time shaving her legs, and the first time, putting on makeup and wearing a bra and going shopping. And of course, Sarah was much younger. Oh, good Lord. When I think about if I was, 30 years younger, then I would be Sarah's age. So there were a lot of things that Sarah encountered that I think a lot of trans women do now, But anyway, I got to watch my time. I got to get to my doctor's appointment here, which we'll talk about in a minute. Wouldn't it be a hoot if I talked, if Karrin let me talk like this the whole time? Wouldn't it be amazing? Would you think my therapist would like arrest me, put me in chains? Might like it. No, I wouldn't. Silly you. Anyway, if you don't mind me talking a little more. Where were we? Oh, and it was Sarah actually who went to the therapist in Atlanta and said, I'm transgender and I need to transition. And so Sarah did a lot of groundwork that we later built on. Anyway, so that was that. I don't know how we got to Robin and Karrin. Well, me. Later, Rob was in Gainesville. Didn't go by Tom anymore. Went by Rob um, for fun, or that was Rob's name. Everyone knew it was Rob. And occasionally Sarah would come out and make an appearance, but Sarah was one of those things, was up and down and up and down and up and down. And so, after a collapse of world collapsing in Gainesville, that's when Rob decided that Rob needed to do something. And that's when Rob went down to the courthouse and filled out the paperwork and changed his name to Robin K. Parks. Robin Karrin Parks. And got to transition, started hormones, and lived as a woman. And I guess at that point she was doing pretty good. Unfortunately, she ran out of money. I don't have to tell you, it takes a lot of money to transition. And so it took a while. I don't know why I'm sharing all this now. But anyway, so that's how we got to where we were. Those were the early days. Uh-oh, I hear my daughter. Get in trouble. I used to talk like this all the time. Well, not like this. I talked a little more in a higher voice, and it sounded more fake than this. Probably does sound fake to you. But let me, I'm going to run out of time. What I think I want to say coming from this space is I love being connected to my feminine self this way. I feel so very connected, and it's almost like I'm perhaps a little naive might be the right way. And like I said, sometimes there's no happy thoughts. I'm happy thoughts. In the movie Inside Out, you had joy and sadness, and I think I would be joy. I'm very joyous, but I also recognize sadness, and I'm a very good conduit to allow that inner feeling, that inner peace to come through. When I look at something amazing, like when I found a phone case that had an owl on it, and I love owls, you can't tell. And that's my nickname was Karrin Gray Owl. So when I found that, I was so excited. And so, and I'm trying to find a genuine feeling, because I know this is going to sound a little fake. But I'm so happy, at the same time that I can think about some times of pain, and I can let that emotion out. And so in many ways, I guess what I was trying to say was, it's nice to have a conduit, to let these feelings come out, whether they be happy or sad. And back to the idea of a hairbrush, excuse me, I wet my whistle. Wet my whistle. Just a minute, baby. I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta go. Oh, forgot my thought. It happens to me. But just to wonder. Here we go. This was my thought. I'm sorry. I'm a little scatterbrained. To be hit on the head and to be clear somewhat of the past, to be clear of the negative energy and the negative parts of your past, if you can, and to look to the future and enjoy the present. I mean, to me, that's just wonderful. But is that really reality? And is that really sustainable? And my daughter, had to deal with me, this voice, for a long time. And I think it was almost a relief when I dropped this voice and went back down to a little more in the middle of where I was. It helped my daughter, I think, out a little more because it was more like her father. And there are times I feel like, ooh, you know, I have consumed so much. You know, I was a seed inside Rabbit. And it's like in a movie, you know, you channel it and you let it out. And I wonder still today if I could surrender myself to this person, to this personality, voice cracking aside, right? Because you know, it might be somewhat of an overly innocent way of doing it, but I have these authentic feelings that I don't think I can get out otherwise. Does that make any sense? Ooh, lots of deep thoughts in this one. For me to be the happy one. Anyway, food for thought. So let's end this on a little bit of action. I'm a little bit emotional, as you can tell, and probably you think I'm a little bit unstable. I have in a couple minutes here, I have to go. I have a meeting with my Jedi counselor. He looks just like a Jedi, and he dresses just like a Jedi. And boy, if he could use his lightsaber on me, if I had a hole to use my lightsaber on. So that's gonna see. Yeah, I got a heart. I don't have a heart on for him, but I have a crush on him. He's so handsome. I wish we had met under different circumstances, and maybe after I have surgery. But then later today, I have another dose of electrolysis on the elephant area, is what I call it. Penis. And that is always, as you might imagine, a wonderful experience. 45 minutes. Well, today's just 30 minutes. Usually 45 minutes is as much as I can take. And it's as bad as this in parts. This is still the worst part, I think, for anything, electrolysis or laser. But when, you know, someone pulls your elephant up and you're like, whoa, afterwards. And then your coochie hurts all day long. And then the next day it hurts a little less. And then the next day you're okay. All right, well, my friends, I thank you so much for putting up with me today. And again, I know this voice can be annoying sometimes, but if we could just let it go, it would be nice. All right, so good luck to you in your transition. And I hope that, you know, maybe one day we'll all meet. Wouldn't it be kind of nice? As Peter Wolf said, you know, come as you are, don't come as all. I don't know if I agree with that, but till next time, my friends, good luck. And good luck in your journey.